Here is what's coming up in today's Frontline compilation. Under fire, Russian troops crawl beneath thermal cloaks. The silhouettes dim, but the impacts land closer. What do the drones still see? In Kherson, a man walks his dog along a quiet street. A quadcopter moves above and drops a single grenade. What happens next? Infrared footage from Ukraine's 27th National Guard tracks a Zemlya launcher in Zaporizhzhia. The drone waits for its moment, then closes in. Near southern Pokrovsk, a Leopard 2A4 from Ukraine's 155th Mechanized faces a holdout in an apartment block. The tank rolls close and fires. How many times? How many will fall? And how many days have these rooms been bombed? This is real footage, no effects, just raw moments from the battlefield. Subscribe to stay updated on every Frontline report and stick around to see it all unfold. Let's get into it. Drone footage shows 3 precision strikes in Donetsk, hitting Russian artillery. The first impact throws up dust and debris around the piece, smoke spreading over the position. The second strike sets the vehicle on fire. Flames climb higher as thick smoke fills the area. The third hit leaves smoke hanging around the vehicle and the gun goes silent. Shapes near the position stop moving. Some crew members were lightly killed by the blasts. The camera holds on the line as the smoke drifts. Released footage shows the strike in Koronevo, Kursk, that killed Russian Major General Mikhail Gudkov, Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy. The hit lands on a command site where Gudkov was also serving as commander of the 155th Separate Guards Naval Infantry Brigade. The site is reduced to rubble and still burning. Ukrainian forces claimed at least 10 other high-ranking officers were killed and show names in the video. The feed ends while the site still smokes. Reconnaissance from Ukraine's 60th Mechanized Brigade finds a Russian artillery unit along a wood line. Kamikaze drones hit field guns and ammunition points in repeat runs until the teams break apart. The attacks land on vehicles and positions. The guns go quiet, and vehicles sit in place. The camera tracks low approaches into soft spots around the pieces. Small FPV drones commonly carry repurposed grenade or mortar charges for attacks like this. A Ukrainian suicide drone hits a Russian Strela 10 air defense system and the vehicle cooks off. Missiles launch away trailing white smoke in several directions as the launcher burns. The camera holds on the vehicle while the fire spreads. The strike is attributed to the ADAM tactical group. The Strela 10 is a short-range system on a tracked chassis that fires infrared-guided 9 M37 series missiles, which cook off violently when heated. The footage follows the spirals until the area becomes obscured. Fiber optic drone footage from Ukraine's Signum unit shows multiple attacks on Russian troops and positions in the Lyman area. The compilation opens with a strike on a vehicle. The camera tracks vehicles, dugouts, and small groups moving between cover, then munitions land. It is not clear in the footage, but the aftermath suggests soldiers may be injured or dead. The footage ends with a drone strike on a soldier. The cut suggests he is likely killed. Footage shows 2 Russian soldiers crossing a front line on electric scooters. A Ukrainian FPV drone approaches from behind as they ride across open ground. One moves on foot while the other stays mounted. The drone likely kills the other soldier. The clip is released by the 414th UAS Brigade, known as Magyar's Birds. Fiber optic drone footage from Ukrainian forces in the Pokrovsk region follows a Russian infantryman through dense forest. The operator pursues him as he runs between trees and brush. The man trips and falls, and the drone lines up for a strike. A direct hit follows. The cut suggests he may not have survived. GoPro footage from a Ukrainian soldier near Novoprokopivka shows a test fire of a UAG-40 automatic grenade launcher. The camera stays on the weapon as a short burst is fired and checked. The UAG-40 is a Ukrainian-made system developed by Kuznia na Rybelskomu, formerly Leninska Kuznia. The company is a shipyard and major arms manufacturer, headquartered in Kiev, with operations around the country. The clip remains focused on the test fire. Russian drone operators deliberately target civilians in Kherson. A quadcopter drops a grenade on a man walking his dog. Both are wounded. A blood trail is visible from the dog's left rear quarter as they try to move away. Both appear terrified by the incident. Footage shows close-quarters fighting as the pro-Ukrainian Russian Volunteer Corps and the Ukrainian Intelligence Directorate clear Russian-occupied positions in Donetsk. The footage opens with fire over Russian positions, trenches, and dugouts. Russian soldiers can be seen surrendering. The camera moves through short sequences as teams enter and secure fighting positions. The operation reportedly results in the capture of 16 Russian soldiers. The video also shows seized weapons, communications equipment, and pieces of intelligence. It is not clear how many Russian troops were killed in the fighting. Reconnaissance drone footage, released by the 214th Separate Special Battalion, shows a swarm attack against Russian positions near Zelenyi High in the Donetsk region. Strikes land on different buildings and bunkers. The sequence shows multiple drones moving in and striking the positions in short runs. The footage shows drone attacks on structures. Grit and fragments hang in the air. After each hit, a grey haze and fine powder linger around the area. Footage from Ukrainian Special Forces shows the Barracuda unmanned surface vessel remotely patrolling the Dnipro River. The video highlights that the boat can mount various grenade launchers and mine delivery systems. Allowing rolls beyond a one-time kamikaze strike, the camera stays on the craft as it moves along the river and then holds on its fittings. Shots cut between the river and the operator's control view. Infrared drone footage from Ukraine's 27th National Guard Brigade shows the destruction of a Russian Zemlyadelia mine-laying system in Zaporizhzhia. The drone attacks while the vehicle is still moving. After the strike, the vehicle ignites, the blaze climbing higher as a thick haze fills the air. The crew members might have died from the strike. The camera stays on the burning vehicle and the blaze. A Ukrainian drone harasses Russian tanks, including a T-90M, by dropping modified 40mm grenades from above. The drops appear to have little effect against heavy armor. But the tanks remain at risk of damaged optics or thrown tracks. The view holds on turret tops and engine decks while the drone angles for release. The clip ends with the drone still working the tanks. Reconnaissance drone footage released by Russian sources shows a series of airstrikes against Ukrainian defensive positions near the village of Ivanivka. The munitions appear to be ODAB 500s. The recording follows impacts one after another, and smoke rises over the positions. The air turns thick with haze. In an overnight operation, Ukrainian units launch an attack on the Syzran oil refinery in Russia's Samara region. Reports describe intelligence operatives and drone specialists working together with other elements. The regional governor confirms drones targeted an industrial enterprise in Syzran and says a fire was quickly extinguished. A drone from Ukraine's 47th Mechanized Brigade records strikes by the Ukrainian Air Force against a Russian drone controller base. The footage shows the target area hit and the position neutralized. The extent of the damage is not known, and the location is not disclosed. A Ukrainian soldier's AK suffers a stoppage during a firefight. He attempts immediate action and kicks the charging handle to free the bolt. The magazine falls from the weapon, but it does not return to battery. He tries to remove the dust cover to field strip and clear the weapon, but cannot. A Russian source claims the rail system interferes, with field stripping in a malfunction. He is ultimately removed from the fight. The clip ends as the attempt to fix the rifle stops. Footage from Ukraine's 155th Mechanized Brigade shows a Leopard 2A4 engaging a Russian DRG team inside an apartment building in southern Pokrovsk. The tank drives close and fires its main gun into the base of the building about 5 times. An observing drone watches sections of the structure come apart. The hideout of the enemy was bombed day and night. With every blast, more Ukrainian lives fell silent. The sequence stays with the impacts and the shifting rubble. No context in the cut about earlier days of strikes or casualties. Reconnaissance and FPV drone footage released by Russian sources shows a Ukrainian patrol hit by a series of strikes in the Pokrovsk region. The sequence follows the hits in short bursts and holds briefly on each impact. After each strike, the frame fills with haze. No further context is provided with the video, and the timing of the event is not specified. Drone footage from the Ukrainian 225th Assault Regiment shows 2 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles pushing through Russian positions in Donetsk. The vehicles drive a gauntlet of fire and keep moving, turning their turrets toward nearby fighting points. Their 25mm chain guns fire in short bursts while they maneuver past obstacles and berms. The clip tracks both vehicles trading shots with positions close to the roadway. Dust trails and impact marks follow the movement as they press on. This footage from Ukraine's 11th Army Corps shows a Russian mechanized assault in Siversk broken apart by FPV and munition-dropping drones. 3 APCS and roughly 20 dismounts move in the open, while observation drones and some attackers use thermal optics. Vehicles ignites under a hit. Night offers no cover as drones track the column and strike. The push stalls under repeated hits and groups scatter from the vehicles. Bodies are visible in the open. Drone footage released by Russian sources shows what appears to be a Ukrainian squad taking a series of direct hits from an automatic grenade launcher. The rounds land on and around the group, kicking debris over the men in the position. Despite the blasts, most of the soldiers get up with only apparent light fragmentation wounds. The group runs from the area to save their lives. GoPro footage from Russian sources shows the aftermath of a Russian fire team overrunning a Ukrainian fighting position. The recording shows rifles fired into the bodies in the hole as the team conducts secondary and tertiary clearing. They pull equipment and gear from the position to top off their own loadouts. The team also conducts sensitive site exploitation, looking for items worth taking. After collecting what they can, the fire team moves off. Footage shows multiple strikes on Russian soldiers and equipment as targets try to hide under thermal cloaks. In some shots, the blankets reduce the heat signature, but the operators still find the aim point. Some targets appear killed or gravely wounded. The clip moves between separate engagements and keeps the focus on impacts. Each sequence shows the attempt to mask a signature and the hit that follows. That's today's raw footage. No filters, no fluff. Subscribe and drop a comment if you want more Frontline reports. Thanks for watching.